Welcome to another episode of Soul Ready Love, where we explore that love is safe, and if it's not safe, it's not love. In this new mini-series, we are working with singles and the hidden blocks to real love that most singles never learn. And in this episode, we're going to explore why you're not too much. We have beautiful Dr. Andrea Horta with us today.
Hello.
And what do you have to say about that? Not being too much.
Not being too much or not being too sensitive. And yeah, I feel like for some people, maybe one person is too much, but it's just because there isn't an alignment there, right? It's like you're a certain person, your nature is a certain way, you believe certain things, and certain people are going to match that nature or match that frequency, that energy frequency. And if you're at a different level, it's not better or worse, but just at a different level, then someone else can come and match it. You know what I mean? And it feels really, really aligned. It feels calm. It feels peaceful when you do find that match. But when someone's not aligned with who you are, you really feel the contrast.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's so interesting how in a relationship, you'll always have the duality. If one person is very logical, often the other person is going to be very emotional. So it's easy for the person who's logical to say, oh, you weigh too much. But at the same time, the person who's very logical, life would be beige without them. And so if someone is extremely logical and you want your partner to be more in the middle, what you need to do is you need to allow yourself to feel more your emotions. It's fascinating. You can actually watch it in action. One of my couples that was working with me, it was really evident because the man was on the Asperger's, spectrum, so extremely logical, all in the mind, and his wife was like loose cannon until she started working with me and realized that it's not because he was not emotional, they didn't love her, it was just processing life differently. So then she was not afraid of losing him when he was not connecting with her the way she wanted to be connected to. So now she was able to be less emotional, more in her heart, more trusting their relationship. And lo and behold, because he had space, then he was allowed to feel himself.
Wow.
So being too much, like we said, sometimes you can be too much if you're more driven to do things in life, and the person you're with is on a scale of 1 to 10, you have 10 out of 10 energy and they have 6 out of 10 energy. You might be too much. That actually happened to me once. I was dating this guy. He's still a friend of mine. He's a sweetheart, but he told me, Lise, you exhaust me. He's just like, I'm exhausted. I need days to recuperate after I see you. So, so it's true that you can be too much, but not because something is wrong with you in this case. It's just because you have a different energy level that to try to keep up with me was not fun for him. And I love him. He was honest enough to say it, and it was great. But I also have had it where some people, if you're not centered in your heart, if you're not balancing your yin and yang, you can go into elation where you are having like a manic episode where it's like, la, 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 and you're so happy and you're so feeling like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I just want to bring my happiness up into the world. And you're like so intensely, then you become too much. Not because something is wrong with you, but because you need to learn to bring yourself back in your heart because you are worthy of this person. When you feel you're not good enough, often you'll compensate by trying to be like this. And people feel it. And the people who love you the most will actually bring you back a notch into your heart so that, I can be with her again. So yes, you can be too much sometimes, but it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because actually you haven't known yet that you are worthy of love. So when you feel worthy of love, you don't need to overdo it. Like, I have another friend that's like, his spouse told me, it's like, I cannot be around him all the time. It's like, he's so intense, like so focused, and I need to do what he wants to do all the time. And it was like so in her face. I was like, I know I need to have hot baths at night and put the candle lights and the incense because he's pushing too hard. And again, it could be not that he's too intense, is that he hasn't chosen the right person to be with him. So this is what you have to see, is like, when I'm being myself, is it from a place of being centered? Or is it from a place of I'm compensating for how insecure I am inside? Because when you're compensating for how insecure you are inside, it's very challenging. It's not a harmonious energy to be around you. So you can be powerful, but centered, and people will feel good around you as a friend, but as a partner, then you might be too much. You want to add on that?
No, nothing to add.
So, like, and it can even happen with your family members, like my now departed mother. I loved her very much. I still miss her. But I used to think that, she could do all the things I could do. She'd be interested in all these things I was interested in. And I realized after a while I was just making her feel inadequate. So as an act of love, I had to learn where my mom was at so that I could connect on her level. Otherwise, it was not fair to her. It's like, if somebody doesn't have the same frequency and you're asking them to go up, that's challenging. But if you are on a higher frequency of energy, it can come there and love them where they're at. And it's not loving yourself, but it's part of, creating harmonious relationship, which is different when you want to be a life partner. That's why having a life partner is something totally different than just having a friend. Because the energy that you have, like, I am so sensitive to energy. So my husband is chill, his energy is balanced, it's harmonious, so I can be around him. I don't feel like, this is too much for me. And that's something you can also be aware of. If you're a sensitive person, if you feel other people's energy, like for me, I would rather be alone than be around someone who's not centered, because the energy then is too much. When someone is not centered, it's like a different kind of energy than someone who comes from their own inner power. That's a balance, and feeling that you have in there. So
I'll add something if you want.
Yeah.
So you were saying that that earlier man, he was saying that at the end, he was just so tired when he was with you, right? And I think that's a good sign to actually think of. Like when you leave, when you're getting to know someone and you're learning about their nature, how do you feel after every interaction? After you spend an hour, after you spend a couple of hours with them, does your body feel relaxed? Do you feel very calm and content with yourself? Or do you feel like, that was a lot, So just really listening to the body, because I think some people in the ego would still choose a partner because they look a certain way and they have a certain status, even though their body is telling them, I don't really feel good, or I feel contracted, or I feel unsafe, and they might just still listen to the ego. The ego is very sneaky because your ego and your mind are always telling you what you think you want, but your body and your heart is telling you what actually feels good, what actually feels safe. Something that you've mentioned.
And with him, he was super smart. Like, he was Mensa material. He was part of Mensa group. So our minds were really matching well, but what I could do in a day versus what he could do in a day, that was a total different story. So remember, what you want as a partner, you're dating right now, or you're just starting to meet this new person, is that you want a best friend with chemistry, someone you can see yourself growing more in love together because you're consciously creating something beautiful. and they live happily ever after. That doesn't happen unless you have a goal and creation, and you consciously want to learn to love each other.
Yeah, just listening to you say that, all I'm seeing is two people come together and to create a new energy that you're putting out into the world. So
yeah, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful
A lot
to
of
think
people
about
are
that
afraid
way.
that, when you get hitched, then it gets boring. When you find the right partner, it's not like that. It's freedom. It's like you learn about yourself. You learn about love. You grow in ways. Like, I've known my husband now for more than 6 years. Like, it just gets better and better. We know each other. We trust each other. When you come from your heart and you've chosen the right person, just like choosing the right career, it's the same thing. Don't settle, go with your heart and be aware of who you are and what you want in life. So if you'd like to know more about how you can create this for yourself, join us in our online program called Soul Where They Love, where you get to spend, some group coaching calls with me. You can ask questions, experience the Heart Freedom Method. You can also work with some of my coaches if you want. Bye for now.
bye.
Bye.